The meadow awakened beneath the early sun with a kind of quiet magic. Dewdrops clung to petals as though the flowers wore necklaces of tiny glass beads. A soft hum drifted across the warm air, a whisper of wings that brushed past clover heads and wild lavender stalks. The world seemed still, but for those who listened closely, the meadow was alive with purpose. Deep within the heart of the meadow, inside a hive sculpted from countless days of labor, a colony of honeybees stirred. The structure itself was a wonder, a city of precise hexagons, wax walls shining faintly like polished amber. Every passage thrummed with the collective heartbeat of 1,000 beings moving as one. Inside, bees stretched their wings, shaking off the coolness of night. Workers inspected combs, tending larvae with patience. Others stored nectar gathered from the previous day. Guards took their places at the entrance, sensing shifts in air and scent. Every bee had a role. Every role supported the whole. But among them was one bee who moved with a quieter rhythm. Not weaker, not stronger, simply different. While the others worked in smooth, synchronized motions, this bee often paused, as though absorbing the currents of the hive. It noticed details that others overlooked, the subtle changes in temperature that hinted at a coming storm, the faint shift in floral fragrance carried on the wind, the pattern of wings beating slightly out of harmony. The bee wasn't fast, nor the strongest collector of nectar, but it watched, listened, observed, and understood. As morning warmed into gentle gold, the colony prepared for another day of gathering. The meadow was in full bloom, a canvas of colors stretching in every direction. Flowers opened generously, offering nectar sweet as sunlight. It was a season of abundance. The bees flew out in streams, each one rising with determination. Their wings shimmered, catching the day's first rays as they crossed over grasses, streams, and whispering leaves. The air filled with the buzzing of purpose. The quiet bee followed behind, steady and thoughtful. It visited flowers with care, brushing past soft petals, collecting nectar in small amounts. The meadow revealed itself slowly as the bee moved. Each blossom a story, each sent a message. But what fascinated the bee most was how the meadow changed from hour to hour. Shadows shifted, breezes changed direction, and flowers opened and closed in patterns. The world was never silent, never still. It spoke in ways only the observing could hear. By midday, the quiet bee discovered something unusual. Beyond the clusters of clover and dandelion was a patch of flowers unlike the others, tall, golden blooms swaying in gentle arcs. Their nectar was richer, their pollen more plentiful than anything the bees had encountered lately. There were hundreds of them, enough to feed the colony for weeks. The bees' wings trembled with excitement. Finding such a treasure was rare, but the bee didn't immediately return to the hive. Instead, it hovered, watching how the flowers moved. The wind here was stronger, making the blooms sway sharply. Nearby, a small stream cut through the field, creating pockets of cooler air that made flying slightly more difficult. The quiet bee studied these patterns, understanding how they would affect the others. Then the bee turned toward the hive. Inside, many bees were returning, each performing the dance that conveyed the location of their nectar sources. The hive was alive with motion, wings beating, legs trembling, bodies vibrating in shared language. The dancers pointed to small patches of flowers scattered throughout the meadow. Good sources, but nothing extraordinary. Then the quiet bee began its own dance. Slow steps, gentle turns, precise angles. The movements painted an intricate picture. It described the golden field, the wind patterns, the safer route that curved behind the trees instead of cutting across the stream. The dance wasn't the most energetic nor dramatic, but it held clarity that drew attention. Other bees paused to watch, absorbing the message. The quiet bee repeated the dance until the hive pulsed with understanding. Then, in a wave, the workers launched into flight, guided by the details the quiet bee had shared. Across the meadow, they followed the path described in the dance. They flew behind a line of tall grasses to avoid the strongest wind. They dipped past the curve of the stream where the air was still. Soon the golden field stretched before them, radiant and waiting. The colony wasted no time. Bees landed upon bloom after bloom, collecting nectar by the dropful. The quiet bee watched from the side, observing the rhythm of motion. The meadow vibrated with life. Days passed. The golden flowers continued to give, and the hive flourished. The honeycombs grew heavy with nectar, and the colony grew stronger than it had been in many seasons. But nature, in its ever-changing harmony, shifted once again. One morning, the quiet bee noticed something unsettling in the air. A breeze carried scents of dryness. The flowers across the meadow, once plump and vibrant, now had faint edges of wilt. Even the golden field seemed less radiant. The quiet bee ventured farther, discovering that several patches were drying rapidly. A heat wave was coming. Returning to the hive, the bee tried to communicate the urgency. Its dance was different this time. Swift, sharp movements indicating danger, the need to gather quickly before the blooms closed for good. But the hive was full of energy. The abundance had made the bees confident. Many didn't notice the subtle shifts. They continued to dance the old routes, trusting the flowers they had visited before. Still, the quiet bee persisted. It communicated again and again, refining the message. Finally, a few bees followed. They visited the field and saw the truth. The abundance was fading. They returned and joined the quiet bee's dance, amplifying the message. The hive shifted. Dozens joined in, then hundreds. By the next morning, the entire colony worked with renewed determination, gathering the last of the nectar before the heat wave reached its peak. When the dry winds finally came, the meadow transformed. Flowers shriveled, leaves curled inward, and the stream thinned. But the hive endured. Their stores were full, more than enough to carry the colony until the rains returned. The bees celebrated in the only way bees can, by working together harmoniously, wings beating in unison. But the greatest shift happened in silence. Bees began watching more closely, listening more carefully. They noticed how the quiet bee paid attention to details, how it communicated clearly, gently, consistently, how its dances, though not dramatic, were precise. The colony understood something profound. Harmony did not come from noise. It came from clarity. Strength did not come from size. It came from understanding. Unity did not come from power. It came from communication. As seasons turned and rains returned, the colony continued to thrive, and the quiet bee continued its gentle observations, listening to the wind, watching the flowers, understanding the language of the meadow. No one named it, no one crowned it, no one praised it with grand gestures. Bees did not work for glory. But every time a bee danced, every time a message was shared, every time harmony filled a hive, the quiet bee's influence was there, subtle, steady, shaping the rhythm of an entire world. And so the meadow lived on, season after season, a place where thousands moved as one, not because they were the same, but because they understood one another. The dance of the honeybee became more than a map. It became a reminder. When communication is clear, harmony follows. When understanding is shared, unity grows. And when voices move together, a small world becomes a strong one.